but not every country's the same in South America. I hope everybody just thinks everywhere is like Medellin, Colombia. I'm just gonna stay here in the United States, and all women are the same all over the world, and it's
Sorry to interrupt today's podcast. I hope you guys are enjoying the information. This will be a three-part podcast. By the way, if you want to watch the entire podcast will be on Patreon. Now, if you guys like what you're hearing and you plan on traveling to Latin America, guys, we have made travel guides for all of these countries. For example, Buenos Aires, Salvador Bahia, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Montevideo, Paraguay. Anywhere you want to go in South America, we have a travel guide for you. All you have to do is click the link below. It's a Linktree link. Click the link. Go to the website. Even Santiago is on there. There's a Santiago travel guide. Click that link. Buy the travel guide. You'll know exactly where to go, exactly what you need to do, exactly what you need to avoid, exactly how much you should plan to spend. You guys, it is basically buying a consultation without having to talk to me on the phone, without having to pay a high price like $150 or even more. You can get it all for as low as $20. And if you are on Patreon, you can get it as low as $10. So make sure you guys guarantee yourself an amazing trip to one of these countries and buy yourself a travel guide. And do not forget to get the free digital nomad starter kit. Guys, I'm putting in a lot of work. I'm having to hire virtual assistants to help me do some of this work so I can continue to bring you guys more valuable content. If you really want to support this content, besides hitting the Cash App, I want to give you guys value. So buy one of these digital products that I made just for you. Let's get back.
If you guys believe that all women are, because I don't like you guys that say that. When you guys say
you have no idea.
Yeah.
The people saying that have never traveled. If you literally left for a month, you would be like, I'm considering trying to get a job to get out of here.
Yeah. It took me 1 week, and I text my mom, I'm moving to Brazil. She blew it off like, oh, he's just talking. I went back a second time. I said, Mom, I got to figure out a way to get out of here. And then she could feel it, and she could feel my energy. It took that second trip to be like, yeah, and that was 3 weeks in total. I was like, yeah, like I got to get out of here. But you guys that think that women are the same worldwide, I don't like you guys because you got, like he said, you guys haven't traveled. If you guys have traveled, you've been to less than 5 countries. And if you did go to more than 5 countries, you had a fucked up mindset and you were looking at the women in a negative way while you're there. Because there's no way you can believe that a woman that grew up speaking a different language with a different history on a different side of the world acts the same way as one on the other side of the world with the exact opposite.
Women, they are the same. Because if you took a girl from, one country and brought her to the United States, she'll very quickly adapt. But culture is different.
Culture and laws makes them behave differently.
It's culture, man.
So people this is another thing people say is like, oh, well, women at their core, they're the same. Thanks for telling me that. But what's the reality? The reality is if I go to Saudi Arabia, a woman cannot raise her voice at me. You know what I mean?
They also say that, oh, those girls just want your money. And I'm like...
That's worldwide.
That's just not true at all. Like, there's a few places where girls are known for asking for money, and that's not even all the girls in that place. In the most gold digger places, there's still like literally most of the girls are not gold diggers. A few of them ruin it for the reputation, which is good because I hope that people just don't figure it out. But I mean, this is all on the internet now.
But I make these videos for you guys. I brought a guest on so we could have another opinion. If you guys don't want to believe this stuff, keep paying dating coaches $4,000. Keep learning how to do a damn science project to approach a woman and then learning how to wait 10 days later to text her back after you get her no. Deal with that shit. Meanwhile, we'll be over here. We'll be in other places in the world where it's normal. You can let your guard down a bit and be yourself. You don't have to worry about talking on the phone and then say, oh yeah, women just have nice bodies. Why are you objectifying them? You don't have to worry about hearing dumb shit like that. Meanwhile, places like Latin America, women know what men want. That's why they get the plastic surgery. That's why they stay in the gym. They don't mind men looking at them. But where you're at in a Western country, men looking at women is offensive somehow. And then those same women complain about no men wanting to talk to them, but you brush off the guys that show interest. Meanwhile, I remember one day I was here in Paraguay and I was with you, and there was those two chicks going up the Escalade. And they had already, one of them already kind of like checked me out a little bit. We got behind them, and she moved her legs in a way where her ass would poke out a little more.
It's completely
And that
normal.
they know if I'm gonna hook them with this.
What girls will do in the States if they're interested in you, they'll start like mean mugging you. They'll give
Yeah.
you like the shit eye and shit. When you're like, why are you looking at me like you're angry that I'm in your presence? But I think they're actually checking you out. I used to just,
They
think,
call it a masculinity test. They're testing you, shit testing you.
yeah. But, places like Colombia, everybody stares at you. It's
Yeah.
normal to stare there.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was me, like, oh, they think I'm handsome or whatever. My dude was telling me, like, no, everybody just stares here.
Yeah.
And here in Paraguay, you've been showing me the thing where you just stare at a girl and smile and then wave.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like,
Works every time.
ready for the approach. I've never seen anybody do that. Shit's crazy.
It's so simple. If I see a chick I like, I'll stare until she looks in my direction. When she looks, I wave and I smile. I know everything I need to know right on the
Can you
spot.
do that in the States?
I used to, but before I started leaving,
I mean,
to
of
go
course
abroad,
you can. Everything works
you could
everywhere.
do it, but whenever I would wave, I would often get like a mean look, or it would be something that would make me want to quit. Like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that. That's why I haven't been back.
They'll try to make you feel like an idiot.
Yeah, they'll try to make you feel like shit.
You could do a lot of cold approach in the States and have fun and still get women. Like Miami is one place where you can still get a lot of girls because it's full of chicks from overseas.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But you need some money to be there.
Mm-hmm. That's the downside.
If you got money, Miami's not bad.
Okay, so we covered that. So we just talked about the waving and smiling. Let's talk about for some guys that are only relying on choosing signals. They don't know how to code approach. They want to learn how to code approach. Jason and I have been here in Paraguay. We've been pretty much sharpening our skills of code approach, and we've been getting a lot of practice in it here at the malls and stuff like that. What would you say? Why would you say men should code approach rather than depend on dating apps, Instagram, and waiting on women to send choosing signals?
Man, before you got here, I forgot about cold approach. I was like lazy and just relying on dating apps. I did meet one girl from a somewhat cold approach thing. It was more just like we happened to be talking to each other. But why they're better? When you use Tinder, the first week or two, they will show you all the hot girls that are using Tinder in that place. Now, if you're staying there for a couple of months, all of a sudden that all dries up.
Mhm.
And when you go to the mall, you can see what they look like right away.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get catfished or any of that shit. It's more of a fun experience. You're getting out of your comfort zone instead of just sitting there swiping on your phone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some cities are good for cold approach and some aren't. Like
Mhm.
we have these malls here and you can run around and cold approach all day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there just happens to be, there's better looking chicks in real life. Like you'll see the models at the fucking mall because
Mhm.
she's going to Zara to get an outfit, but she doesn't even use Tinder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those chicks are like, oh, I would never even touch that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want a higher quality chick, you might get lucky on Tinder, but you're getting the sixes.
You want to know exactly what you're dealing with too.
Yeah.
Like the chicks we met at the mall today, their profile picture on WhatsApp, you would be like sending pictures like, oh, look who I met today. But when I saw her in person, it was just kind of like oh, she's cute. Like, she's fuckable. Like, it wasn't nothing to get excited about. But looking online, everything can be edited, makeup. They have AI that does all this stuff for people now. So it's better that you meet what you want in person. And if you're in a city where you're not seeing a lot of women on a daily basis, you need to go somewhere else. Because when you do run into women that are attractive, you won't know what the hell to do because you're not getting enough interaction in the first place. So what is... hold on. How do you react whenever you get rejected from cold approach? Because I know a number of men that when a woman rejects them, they're like, oh, well, fuck you, bitch. Just because she says no or she ignores them. It's one thing if she goes off on you and tries to clown you, make you look stupid. But even then, I wouldn't say that. But what is your reaction whenever a woman is denying you, and how is it getting denied abroad versus in the States?
Okay. Yeah, I think like reacting to it and getting butthurt is like a rookie thing.
Yeah.
You like take it personally because you don't realize that this is all random.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how would you feel if somebody came up to you while you're shopping and was just like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like, you would be kind of annoyed. Like, I am. Like, I don't want to talk to random people.
Yeah.
So, you getting rejected doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you personally. Like, you kind of have to take yourself out of it
Mm-hmm.
and drop your ego and just be like, "This is a numbers game. I need to do 10 of these today." And like, you know, what's funny is the girls that don't give you the best reaction might be the one that you end up going on a date with.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been doing this for a long time. So it's just kind of like it's just a process.
Mm-hmm.
As far as rejections in the States versus here, they're just harsher in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll sit there talking to a girl for 20 minutes and this isn't every girl in the States either. Some girls are fucking really nice, but you'll get more bad reactions in the States where the girl will act like you're a creep. Like, what are you doing here? What is this? I forget how it is. Like when you ask me the questions about the States, I'm like, damn, let me try to like remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's horrible, bro. Like, I remember sitting there talking to some girl at the mall and we had like a 20-minute conversation and the vibe was all good. And I was like, so let's hang out sometime. Let me get your number. And she was like, I don't meet people like this. She's like, I don't meet strangers. And one, she was new in town, so she knew nobody. And then the second thing, I saw her on Hinge like a couple weeks later. So she tried to make it look like what I was doing was like, this isn't how people meet, you know?
Yeah. I don't have time for
The
that
chicks in
shit.
the States listen to too many podcasts and they've been like hacked. Their minds have been hacked by whatever this is. Because, I'm older than you. Like, I remember when it wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it wasn't as bad.
So what would you say is it like to get rejected in a Latin American country? Like, how do they handle that? I know you said it's harsh in the States. What has been your experience and elsewhere?
Okay, Brazil. You get some harsh reactions
Mm-hmm.
in Rio for sure. Those
Mm-hmm.
girls, if they don't like you, they'll just fucking move around you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, those are kind of harsh. But they won't talk shit to you. They won't like try to
No.
try to fucking like down like an American girl. Rejections in Medellin. The first time I went there, bro, the girls there were like, their eyes would light up when you'd approach them. And you would get their number and they would start calling you, like, what's going on? I thought we had a date. And then 5 years later, now they're getting attitude. Now they're acting like, oh, just another gringo.
Mm-hmm.
But they are super sweet. Like, the Colombians are known for being sweet and warm and just pleasant. Just, they're proper, They're not gonna they know that you're a man coming up with balls to talk to them, and you'll get more respect than being in the States.
Mm-hmm. So in Paraguay, how would you say the rejections go whenever they reject you here? Like, what's something that they commonly say whenever it
Man,
doesn't
have
go
we
your
even
way?
gotten rejected, bro?
The past couple of days, we haven't gotten rejected.
They will like tell you they're sorry. Like
Yeah.
they'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm sorry. Like I've married," and dude, that one married chick fucking still talking to me.
Yeah. Yeah. The good thing about places like
Cold
this
approach
is you
here
can,
is fun, man.
yeah, you can get their Instagram. Like if you
We
get
got rejected
rejected,
at night
when?
when we went out at night.
Oh yeah, yeah. Going out to clubs in Paraguay seems like a waste of time to me. But pretty much going about throughout your day is fine. But in Latin America, Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay, Argentina, if I got rejected, I would say, "Oh, here, give me your Instagram." 9 times out of 10, really 99 out of 100, you will get the Instagram for the most part. And then I call that the dating funnel, where they're in your orbit now, where they're watching what you're doing now.
What do you consider a rejection?
So if I ask you like for your number, I say, "Hey, we should meet together sometime." Or like the time we met those two chicks,
And they're like, "Why?
and yeah, and they're like,
Why would I
"Why?
do
Why do
that?"
you like?" I asked a chick, "What is your name? Why?" And I have a nice day.
They're
Don't worry about it then.
That's just called being rude.
Yeah.
And in Latin America, they aren't rude because they have tradition and culture here.